Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 7 of the Global Prayer and Healing Community Gathering. It's going to take a couple more minutes to give people an opportunity to jump on if they want to come on live. This is being live streamed on YouTube, and it's also live on Zoom for anybody who wants to come in and be in the space to maybe share things that come up during conversation, to share stories of resiliency and strength, stories of hope, or just hold space. Just hold space for the prayer. And even if you're not in the Zoom room, this is definitely something that you can do as you're watching this live streamed. And anytime that you're watching it, when you hold prayer and you're joining us in prayer and joining us in the healing, it really does help the collective, regardless of the time you watch this, because time is not linear as we know it. So there you have it, my friends. And to be honest with you, I am going to smell my essential oil right now to get grounded. I have surrender. Surrender was what I was called to today. Surrendering to faith, surrendering to knowing that today's circle is going to be great. To be honest, the reason why I need surrender is because I went to bed at 4:30 this morning, helping my neighbor, supporting her, I should say, in what she's going through, and waking up with little time to prepare is always kind of flustering. So remember to just give yourself grace and surrender to the day, surrender to just the knowing of that you're protected, that you're divinely guided, and that things always happen for a reason, and just kind of let it unfold naturally without forcing, without being in fear or in frustration. And you also have energy medicine techniques that you can use now to help you. So as I sit here, just kind of calming any overwhelm that I might be feeling right now, I ask you, Lord, spirits, guides, to help me, support me in finding the words and the wisdom that will help and support the collective today, so that they can continue their healing, so that they can be in a space of love and light, and that we can come together always in a space of unity, especially in a time of such divide, that we stop trying to be right about our story and just listen. Just stop to listen. Listen to what people are saying and how we can bridge the divide and create unity, so that we understand that we are not separate from each other, that we are really a collection of our own mirrors for each other and one another and for ourselves. And with that, I say thank you. Okay, let's get started. Welcome to day 7, as I said, and I wanted to remind everyone that this is a sacred space of love, light, and connection. And the purpose of our gathering is simple, but it's profound. It's to unite as a global community, to bring healing, hope, and peace to ourselves, our loved ones, and the world. In times of such deep uncertainty, grief, and challenge, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or alone. But this space is here to remind us and remind you that you are never alone. So this gathering is more than a call. It's a sanctuary. It's a place where you can safely bring your emotions, share your energy, and hold space for others. And together, we will lift our hearts in prayer to send love and healing to those in need, to hold space for resilience and unity, even in the face of devastation, to set intentions to guide our actions with compassion and hope. This space is so crucial nowadays, and it's a reminder that healing begins within each of us and grows stronger when we share with others. So whenever you face loss, fear, or uncertainty, maybe recently, or carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, this is your opportunity. an opportunity to reconnect with peace, love, and purpose. Before we begin, I want to invite you to take a moment to set your own intention as we have before for this gathering. Ask yourself, what do I need most right now? Yeah? What do you hope to give or receive during our time together? And how can you hold space for healing and hope today for yourself and others? And so with that, let's take a deep breath in. And let's breathe deeply into these intentions, knowing that together we are stronger. We are more resilient, and we are capable of creating a ripple of light and love that spans throughout the globe in our community. And again, I want to thank you for being here. Okay, let's begin. And as I mentioned a second ago about surrender, essential oils really are a powerful tool. You can put them on your skin. Some of them you have to dilute first before you do that because it's sensitive. So be cautious and do a little bit of research on how to use essential oils safely. Always talk to a physician, especially if you're pregnant or nursing or under a doctor's care to make sure that there is no contraindications. But essential oils for the most part are safe, but there are some contraindications. And there are some oils that you cannot use during pregnancy, nursing, or if you have any other elements. So I urge you to make sure that you are always keeping yourself safe and educating yourself before you try anything new that anybody tells you. That should be like a rule of thumb. But for me, surrendering today, I think it ties into where the pulse is right now in the world. It's like surrendering to what is. Not having to ask why. Why did this happen? Why me? Because there's so much that our minds can make up a story about, and you can get lost in a cyclone of woe is me and pity party, and that is not going to serve you. So just surrendering today to this moment, to this space right now where you are. And in the act of doing surrender, clarity befalls. Like it just happens because you are open and you're able to just think for a minute instead of making stuff like stories up in your mind. So today, I hope that surrender is a word that is really going to support you today and the week to come. There are many moments and many reasons and opportunities for us to surrender, to surrender to the moment, to surrender to what is happening without having to make sense of it. Because sometimes there is no sense to make. It really is unfolding. You might not know the answer right now. And with that, I wanted to say I'm so excited to have our first speaker up today. Oh my gosh, she is a beautiful friend of mine, and we share leadership in common. And when I met her, she was just so full of joy, and it didn't come easily for her at first. And now it's just like, how? I don't understand. You are joy, and you are just a beautiful light, and you're a beautiful heart. And so I'm so grateful and excited to hear what she is here to share today. So I'm just going to introduce you to her. Her name is Danielle Longano. So please help me introduce her. She's an esteemed motivational, inspirational, and transformational speaker and coach. She's renowned for her captivating ability to ignite positive change in others. As the author of Unleash Your Abundance, The Power of Choice, Danielle shares profound insights and practices strategies to empower individuals to embrace abundance and take control of their lives. With a passion for helping others unlock their full potential, she delivers dynamic speeches that leaves audiences inspired and motivated to pursue their dreams fearlessly. I can attest to that. Through her coaching programs, Danielle provides personalized guidance and support, helping clients break through barriers and achieve unprecedented levels of success and fulfillment. With a unique blend of authenticity, empathy, and expertise, Danielle is dedicated to empowering individuals to live life on their own terms and create a legacy of impact and abundance. So powerful. Please help me welcome my beautiful friend, Danielle.
Hello, Margarita. Thank you so much. I listened to that and I'm like, oh my gosh, I created this. I made this happen. This was not me a few short years ago. So I am so grateful to be here today, abundance, to share and collaborate abundance. Okay. As you can see, we are going to talk about abundance today. So I am just so grateful that you decided to be in committed action. I know you talked about that yesterday. Being in committed action and creating something magical for those that are struggling, whether it is in the LA fires or it's the beginning of the year, end of a holiday season. Some people don't find the joy. They can't find the joy and they struggle. It's a real thing. Mental health is real. And we might be physically fit, but if our mental health is not fit, if we are not paying attention to our mental health, we are doing ourselves a disservice. And I am so grateful that so many leaders are bringing light to this, that this is something that we get to talk about. And I know you guys shared powerfully yesterday, and bringing the light to it is powerful. So thank you so much for holding this space and for being a light in this world. Love you. So let me ask you, everyone out there listening, Margarita, are you willing to give up what you have for what you want? And in difficult times like this, where the universe makes that decision for you, you have a choice. You have a choice. You can choose abundance and seeing how this is happening for you, or you can choose scarcity and how this is happening to you. It is your choice. You are the CEO of your life. And in times like this, when you think that I'm a victim to this, whatever it is, whether it is a natural disaster, a tragedy, horrific fires creating Armageddon, whatever it is, could be the new leadership here in the United States of America. You are not a victim, and you can choose that every single moment of every single day. And so I am going to talk about the importance of abundance in living a purposeful and fulfilling life where you get to contribute to the world in love and peace rather than fear and hatred. And that's the world that I'm committed to living in every single day. And it's a choice. Okay. So let me ask you this. How often do you find yourself worrying about not having enough time, enough money? Okay. It happens totally. Okay. Not enough time to spend time with my loved ones. I get to either work or be at home with my family. How often do you think that it's either or? Are you thinking more about what you lack rather than what you have already? How do you view the success of others? Are you envious of them? Are you jealous? Or are you inspired by their achievements? How willing are you to take risks and try new things, even if there's no guarantee for success? Do you believe that there's always enough, that the universe is infinite? Or do you worry about competition? I can't share because they're going to steal this idea or whatever it is of mine. So, depending on how you answered those questions, depends on whether you have a scarcity mindset or an abundant mindset. So, if you rated high and you agreed with everything on that, that is those are attributes of a scarcity mindset. Now, I was blown away by this because I thought I was an abundant person. I always look for the good in things. I saw possibilities. But then I realized that I carry so many traits of scarcity. It is the world we live in. The media keeps us in fear, comparison to others. Who posts actual photos of themselves without being touched up? Come on, be honest now. We want our lives to look so perfect on the outside when we're struggling on the inside. But then we see other people and we say, oh, they've got their stuff together. Why can't I be like that? My word for 2025 is authentic. And authenticity to me is sharing how I really feel on the inside, on the outside. So to be completely authentic with you right now, I have a splitting headache and yes, lone wolfed it, scarcity right there, and was working on a project and hit myself on the bridge of the nose with a 8 foot long piece of wood. Okay. So little minor concussion, but I was committed to being here, to focusing out abundance. I could have called Margarita and said, sorry, I can't make it. I feel like crap. But my vision is bigger than a minor headache. So I am here to share this with you. And I was not always like this. Oh my gosh. Like every day, this is my breakthrough. So if you are thinking about, lack or insufficiency, I don't have enough, I don't have enough. What are you teaching your children? That there's never enough. We can't afford that. How many of you grew up with those limiting beliefs? Yeah. So you're comparing yourself to others. You're only thinking about the short term, immediate needs, not the long term. Okay. So over the course of this podcast, webinar, whatever it is, I am going to teach you 5 things, 5 simple things that you can do every single day to shift into an abundant mindset. Because who doesn't want to be abundant? Okay. For those of you that want to stay in scarcity, that's okay. There's no judgment. You might not be ready for it, and that's okay. But I know I wanted to leave scarcity in the rearview mirror. And I realized that there's no magic wand, there's no essential oil to take that is going to make it go away. I get to choose it every single day. And so until I was aware, you don't know what you don't know. So you might not have known up until now. But once you know, then you have a choice. So here comes the awareness. Okay. So choosing abundance, and abundance isn't just financially money. Most people think about abundance as money. It is a belief system characterized by a feeling or perception of plentifulness, of sufficiency, of limitless possibility. So when you have an abundant mindset, you are grateful. There is gratitude in what you have, in what you experience, in your surroundings. You see things because you're present and connected. You're optimistic. You look for the positives. You see obstacles as opportunities, like a big piece of wood falling on my head. How am I going to take this obstacle and turn it into an opportunity so that I can complete a project that I have been visualizing for the last 4 years in my house? It's also about collaboration. No more lone wolfing. That was my biggest. That's my struggle every single day. As you see, I didn't call somebody, my neighbor, somebody to help me with my project. I was doing it myself. I can do this. Who am I proving anything to? By lone wolfing, by doing it on my own. No one. Collaboration. What I learned, and a dear friend of mine gave me direct, honest feedback when I didn't receive support from him. He told me that he felt like he didn't matter to me, that he wasn't good enough, that I didn't care about what he thought or his opinion or that he cared about me. And that cut me down. That was the first time I realized that by me lone wolfing, I'm depriving others from supporting me, from having them not feel like they're good enough, that they're worthy of my support. And that was not the case. It was me with a limiting belief that in order to get things done, I have to do it myself. Well, leadership has blown that out of the water. And it might not look exactly how I want it to look, but I now come from a place of intention versus expectation. And let me tell you, that is freedom right there. Not having expectations, but creating intentions and seeing what works and what doesn't work, not judging, no judgment, no blame, no shame, no guilt. That is freeing. So, also having a growth mindset. That is another distinction of abundance. Growth mindset. You embrace challenges and setbacks because guess what? Life has both challenges and setbacks. This fire is not going to end you. It's a setback. Yeah, it's a big MF and setback. But what growth are you seeing in this? Are you seeing opportunities? And I will share that I wasn't on island during Irma Maria, but I lived in St. John part-time and or for part of the year. And I lost everything there. And up until the hurricanes, I loved my life there. I had a family, a work family. I lived in the most gorgeous bay in St. John. I'm not going to tell you where because then you'll come. No, that's scarcity right there. Look at that. See, it's calling myself out on the scarcity mindset right there. I'm not sharing. Okay, it's John's folly. All right. That's my zen, my love. I had the most amazing dog, Emma. If anyone knows me, you know Emma. And I lived in this beautiful bay. I loved where I worked. I loved being there, my island family, and it was all gone. Irma took most of it. Maria took whatever was left. Gone. All of it's gone. And I was angry. I was angry. First, I mean, there's different stages, and I know Jasmine is shared yesterday. She started sharing the 12 stages of grief. I was devastated and made sure everybody was okay. So there's gratitude right there that you're alive. And then I was angry because the universe took this from me. Victim, scarcity. Yeah, I was angry. And I had a choice to stay in that anger because it takes just as much energy to see possibility, just as much energy. And so I grieved it. And so those of you that have loss, you get to grieve. You get to be angry. Give yourself the permission to experience your feelings. Don't judge yourself of what you're feeling. You might be further along in a grieving process than somebody else, and that's okay. So I was angry for a long time. I stayed in that phase for a long time. And I chose. I chose to see possibility. I chose to see how this was happening for me. And it was very difficult. It's simple, but it's not easy. It was so difficult. And I got to see the possibilities. What is the universe telling me right now? I'm comfortable. How many people stop moving forward because they're comfortable? Yep, I was so comfortable. And the universe said, no, you're destined for more. And I wouldn't be here today if I was still comfortable. And I got to stretch out of my comfort zone. So, growth mindset. And then generosity, giving back. So, it was incredible how everybody on the island came together, really came together in community. And every disaster I've seen in Winter Park, we had the East Troublesome fire 3 years ago now, 3.5 years ago. The community coming together, being generous. People that had lost everything came out to volunteer, came out to serve. Okay. These are choices. These are attributes of abundance. And they're choices. Yes, you can sit in, your cousin's one bedroom apartment and complain about how poor me, I just lost everything. Well, you're alive. You're alive. And you're meant for more, so much more. So if this is the kick in the pants for you to do something amazing with your life, use it. Use it. So abundance to me is a choice to give back to this world, to be grateful for everything that I have, my life, two arms that work, two legs that work, a brain that functions, quirky as it is. I am grateful. And so I would like to generously share this with you, and you get to choose. So I have 5 daily actions. I call them the abundance blueprint for cultivating the abundance, for choosing it. So if you knew what action 1 is, yes, it's practicing gratitude. So I invite you, while you're going through this, create your own abundance blueprint by taking a few minutes to reflect and write down 3 things that you are grateful for. 3. And starting this out, you might struggle, okay, if you're not used to it. I'm grateful for breathing. I'm grateful for seeing. I mean, if you can't come up with three things that you're grateful for, call me. I'll support you with that. Okay. So every day, wake up with gratitude. And it could be big or small. Being a supportive friend or having a supportive friend, seeing a beautiful sunrise. I got to see a beautiful sunrise. Yeah, it's 12 degrees outside. I'm grateful for that crispness, that beautiful snow that we just got. Do I love snow all the time? No, but I'm grateful because it's so beautiful to look at. And I have a warm home to be in. So the second action is positive affirmations. So repeating affirmations throughout the day affirm your belief in abundance and your ability to attract it. So my invitation to you is write down 3 affirmations now. You want to put them in the present tense as if they're already happening. I am a loving, trusting, vulnerable woman is a positive affirmation. It reminds me that I get to be loving, trusting, and vulnerable because I'm not always those things. So that grounds me. That is one of my affirmations. One of my other ones, especially when I'm traveling, is that it gets to be easy. I create ease and flow everywhere I go. And people who travel with me are like blown away because they're like, oh my, this was the easiest. We get upgraded everywhere. We're in the VIP lounge. We travel ease and flow. And when we are bumped, it is a party and we get free stuff. Abundance. Okay. So write down 3 affirmations that align with your desires in various areas of your life, such as your career, relationships, your health. I am strong and capable is a great one. And post them on post-it notes all over your house. Okay. The third action is visualizing the abundance. Okay. This is great to wake up to go to sleep to. So it's about closing your eyes and imagine what abundance feels like, looks like, sounds like. Use your 5 senses in different areas of your life. So visualize yourself achieving your goals. Like me actually trimming out my living room and a beam that was just so horrific. And I scarcitied it for 3 years. I put up wallpaper, wood grain wallpaper up there because I didn't trust myself. I wasn't being abundant. I was coming from a scarcity mindset. And finally, I was like, I can do this. I am capable. And if it comes out ugly, so what? I pull it back down. So I actually got out the miter saw and all the power tools and I went for it. And I love it. So I visualized how I wanted to look and I created it. So creating the results is amazing. And you get to celebrate what you created, no matter how small. Okay. So visualize that. And you can even record your visualization and go to sleep to it at night, wake up to it in the morning. Visualize like it's already happened. What does that feel like? What does it smell like? What does it look like? So the fourth action step is acts of generosity. There is always enough to give and receive. So by being generous, you are not hoarding. Hoarding is a scarcity mindset mentality. So by clearing out the clutter, if you're holding on to clothes from high school, hello, yep, scarcity. That was me too. And it's, I'll fit into that. Oh, yes. Oh, I'll wear that again. No, let it go. Let it go. Donate it. And then when you see somebody wearing something that you gave away, I was volunteering and I donate clothes to the homeless shelter. And one day when I was in there volunteering, somebody had my shirt on. And I was like, oh, so good on you. Like it brought me such joy to see somebody else wearing something with pride that was sitting in the back of my closet. Energy, energy gets to keep moving. So even if you are buying one new shirt, whether it's at the thrift store or you're going couture, give away two or three things. Let it go. You are going to free up so much space. Okay. So write down three ways that you can generously give daily in your life. So it could be as simple as offering a compliment, lending a helping hand, or sharing your time and resources with others, like Margarita is doing here. So it could be small, it could be large, it could be a generous donation to a friend who just lost their home, but giving generously. And then the fifth action step is cultivating a growth mindset is going to open you up to possibilities and opportunities for abundance. So, personal development, stretching. If you're listening to this, you are abundant here because this is stretching you out of your comfort zone. Even if you've heard it a million times, something different might land for you. So, always being curious and willing to stretch yourself in your personal development. So, what are three ways that you can dedicate time each day to learning and personal growth? So now we live in an era where, oh my gosh, there are so many podcasts or classes like this or attending a workshop. On Meetup, I attend a gratitude walk every Saturday. Abundance and personal development. So if you follow these 5 action steps daily, you are choosing abundance. And when you do something, it attracts more of it. So if you notice that, when you see those people with the black cloud, the rain cloud over their head, I mean, everything and anything that goes wrong is going to go wrong with them. And that's what they're doing. They're attracting more of that lack, that scarcity, and they're going to perpetuate it. So the more that you focus on the abundance by practicing these 5 simple daily steps, you are going to see a shift in your world. Is it going to be perfect? Heck no. We're going for progress, not perfection. So now I'm going to ask you a couple more questions and see where you're at. So, how confident do you feel in your ability to recognize and challenge scarcity thinking patterns in your daily life now that you have this awareness? And to what extent do you believe that you have the power to create abundance and prosperity in different areas of your life? And how optimistic are you in embracing new opportunities and taking calculated risks? So I know after I lost my family, you know, everything, the restaurant I worked at, the roof off the house that I lived in, and everybody scattered around the world. I look back now and I'm grateful. I'm grateful because I got the kick in the butt I needed to take a risk, try something new. So, for those of you that have lost all of your material belongings, your home, you have not lost you, your identity. So, remember that in these very difficult times. One of my girlfriends, she is so grateful that she found a new place to live. And every little thing that they add, she is over the moon. She's like, we have the cutest folding chairs. She is so excited about the folding chairs for her little dining room table for her and her son. She is grateful for this. She's choosing abundance. So thank you, Margarita, for having me today and taking a risk. And I am so grateful for what you have created for support for anybody that is struggling with anything. So remember, it's a choice. Abundance is a choice, and you get to unleash your abundance. So thank you.
Oh my, I wrote a whole page of notes. Well, such a beautiful gift today. And it is hard sometimes, right, to see abundance when you feel scarcity around you, when you see it, right? Everywhere you go, everybody's talking and holding on to that. And I love how perfectly you really touched on the choice, right? I think you and I have many times have said joy is a choice, and that's something that I choose every day. Life is all about choices, and so it's about what you're going to choose, how are you going to choose it. And I love the five keys to abundance, the blueprint that you gave us. It's practical, simple, as you said, not easy, right? But it's all about practicing. And I think this is something that I've heard us talk about yesterday, and it's just about just creating a new habit. When you try something new, it might not feel right. You might not see the results right away, but just trust and surrender to the
Yeah.
knowing that it's all for good. There is something there that you're not seeing yet, or that's is in the works of happening. So thank you so much for your beautiful gift, for your heart, for coming and sharing your beautiful wisdom with us. And stop lone wolfing, my friend. I don't want you to get another concussion, okay? Don't be in scarcity. Oh, and so that, like what you said about your friend feeling not good enough and why you didn't ask for help, that touched me so deeply. And I think it shifted my own perspective of scarcity and lone wolfing. Like I'm robbing somebody the opportunity to show up powerfully and feel good enough and worthy. And that, my friend, was like, I was blown away by that. I got full body chills. I was just like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of it that way. So thank you
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's collaboration. It's like supporting each other in if I can live a lesson so that your journey is lighter, then great, because you're going to share your wisdom and what landed for you, what works for you, and it could lighten my load. And it's about win-win. And that was another um shift for me. I used to play I don't care if anyone else is winning, I'm winning, and screw everybody else. And that was a huge wake up call for me that everybody gets to win.
Mm,
And if somebody's not winning, nobody's winning.
mm,
And that like I stopped needing to be right. And wow, letting go of that, because if I'm right, that makes somebody else wrong. And what I've learned through my NLP training is that I get to meet people where they're at, and that's their reality. So it could be true for them because we don't see life how it is, we see how we are.
Mhm.
And so who am I to say that they're wrong? Because that's their reality. So that is what's true for them. Just like what's true for me isn't necessarily true for you. So when I got that, that gave me freedom as well, and even more abundance. And so, like you said, there is so much scarcity and fear and lack. And so, how do you get to be the catalyst, just like Margarita is here today, the catalyst? She went out on the skinny branches
Mm.
and created this and was willing to take a risk, willing to pay prices, whatever the prices she was willing to pay, she did it. So are you willing to be the first one to compliment someone? Oh my gosh, tell me when you compliment someone that somebody does not feel incredible, right? And then you just want to pass it on. You want to pay it forward. You want to compliment them back. So be that first domino that creates that chain reaction. So I invite you just to practice. Go out there today, go to the grocery store or someplace that typically stresses you out because people go slow, or the post office, and compliment someone. See what happens. See what it does to you. I know when I give a compliment, I feel so good. When I receive a compliment, I used to, if somebody complimented me on my sweater, I'd say, "Oh, I got it at the thrift store." No, just say thank you. You don't have to justify anything or explain anything. Just say thank you, just receive. That's abundance. That's another scarcity that I am challenged with daily is receiving a compliment instead of justifying it or minimizing it. Just receive. So be the first. Be the first, go out there and compliment someone. See what happens.
So powerful. Be the CEO of your life. Like, collaborate. Don't deprive others of their worth. Thinking lack. It's so interesting how you brought up when you didn't want to share where you were living in the Bahamas as scarcity. Like, it's interesting to me how much of those moments we expose ourselves and don't connect it to scarcity. So thank you for grounding me in that.
Yeah.
Like, when are you not willing to be generous and take risks to show up? Because you're holding yourself back. That's scarcity.
Yeah. Hoarding yourself, hoarding your time, hoarding anything. I was hoarding my bay because I didn't want all the tourists there. So I get to give freely because there are so many bays and there's so many beautiful places that it's okay. I'll just find something else and then I'll tell everybody and they'll come. That's great. That's an abundant mindset rather than hoarding it, keeping it to myself. Yeah. And we don't know what we don't know. So it's just creating that awareness. So hopefully, even with you, like what I'm hearing is that it's creating awareness.
Mhm.
So being present in our day, and that's a whole different topic, instead of being on autopilot. Yeah.
And what you shared today, there was a lot of things that you shared that were so aligned with kind of my experience of yesterday after the call. I had an interaction with a woman with her dog, and she was fighting to be right about the unfairness of the world and and I was just like, She asked me what I felt about Trump, and I was just coming from a space of, listen, I just want unity. I just want us to come together. And what's most important is being kind and not fighting to be right about your beliefs or your point of view, because that means, like you said, somebody else has to be wrong, and there's no unity, there's no community in that, right? The word unity is in community. And it just it's a part of scarcity, it feels like, right?
Oh,
You
totally.
know,
Yeah.
you're like, no, I have to be right. I have to hold on to this thing. I'm not willing to give you, right? And so I'm definitely approaching life more now as like, give them a chance to speak, share what, give a space to share, hear them out, and take what you will, right? Because there is always something you guys, we can come together in agreement and agree on something. We don't have to walk away like, that was, frustrating or whatever. It's like, no, where can you show unity in the conversation? Like, what is it that really is what you want? What is it that you're sharing? And it's so important. And I love that you brought it up, because I wanted to bring it up in the call today. I didn't know how I was going to bring it up. And I asked, I was like, how can I speak on this without being right about my opinion about it? And then in that moment, I saw dolphins in the ocean. And I looked up the meaning of dolphins and what their spiritual lesson and message is. And it was just like community, unity, love,
Yeah.
not having to be right was the message that I got. Like, just come together in love. And it was interesting. I was just like, oh my gosh, like, if you actually pay attention and you look it up and you do your due diligence, like, there is our answers. And it's about choosing the light, choosing the love
Yeah.
over the scarcity, and being in abundance. And that once you start really fully embracing abundance, it starts to unlock in many ways. And it's everywhere. Abundance is everywhere. There's an abundance of flowers and abundance of
Yeah.
sand and abundance of plants and people and cars. Like, it's everywhere if you just really focus on that. And it is a mind shift. And I love the five simple tips that you gave. And I really urge everybody listening to take them on. Just get curious. Get curious about trying them on. And what you said was perfect. It's progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
And I
And
think
what
we
you
live in a
focus
world,
on.
yeah, we live in a world where we have to be perfect and do it alone and not ask for help, because we seem weak if we ask for help. So it's just a shift in that.
Yeah. And it's a choice, like we talked about, it's a choice. And I chose scarcity and I paid the price. And it could have been worse. I could have knocked myself out. It could have been a lot worse. So that was a price I was willing to pay. Now in the future, I'm going to think twice because I did pay a price. And what you focus on, you create more of. So think about this. Um, what is your dream car, Margarita?
It's the spider.
Okay. So what color?
Black.
Black. Okay. So when you focus on your black spider car, do you now see them everywhere?
I will. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you focus on, you're going to see everywhere. Like when I was in Italy, like my dream car is a two-door, two-seater SLK Mercedes in navy blue. Okay. And I swear to God, I drove hours, and the Italian highway system is spectacular. Okay. And every time I looked in my rearview mirror, there was a Mercedes behind me. And I was just like, I mean, I said, I swear to God, I only think they drive Mercedes here in Italy. Every single car was a Mercedes. And because I was focused on my dream car at that time. And so, like, whatever you focus on, you create more of. So, what if you chose to focus on abundance, joy, love, peace? connection, you're gonna, that's what you're gonna see. And I do know now that I do have a gift for seeing how a situation is happening for me.
Mm.
So if you ever need somebody to brainstorm how this is happening for you, call me. And I had a girlfriend who at 38 was diagnosed with breast cancer. And she came to tell me in person, and she presenced it with, I do not want you to find the silver lining. So she let me know that she was not ready for me. And I said, okay, I'm just here to hold the space. So I gave her that space to vent how it was unfair. She was the victim. I mean, I let her experience her feelings and get it all out. And about 2 months later, she called and she said, okay, I'm ready. How's this happening for me? I was like, oh my gosh, you don't have to wear a bra again. I went through everything of how this was a gift,
Mm.
but I didn't minimize her, what she was experiencing. We all get to feel our feelings, and then we get to choose. So feel the feelings, give yourself permission to feel whatever is coming up for you. You might be like, heck freaking no, I don't have time for this, or this is woo woo or BS or whatever. Great, feel them. And then be in a committed action. Take one step forward and just see, just try it on. Like you said, try it on. See if you generate abundance. See if you get the check in the mail that you weren't expecting. See if you get the free dessert at the restaurant. Oh, wow. See if you get the free upgrade next time you fly. That's abundance.
I'm taking those two comments you made, by the way. I create ease and flow everywhere I go. It's like
There
I'm
you
gonna wake up
go.
and say that every day. I'm gonna go to sleep saying that every day. It's gonna be a new addition to what I already do.
Awesome.
And it took me years to finally put these in action. Like I had the awareness of gratitude and affirmations and the and abundant mindset. Like I had the awareness of it, but I guess maybe energetically I just wasn't ready to choose it. And it's not a one and done. It's a practice. It's a practice. And I'm literally now practicing gratitude and abundance. And I got to tell you, it's shifting the way I respond in the world. I'm not reacting as much anymore to it. I'm responding to it from a place of love and gratitude. And I'm noticing people around me shifting, and my experience where before maybe there would be friction, now there's love and understanding and listening. Like I'm experiencing people hearing me.
Powerful. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this stuff works, and it's a choice, and it's really simple. A choice is simple.
Yeah. And I believe that whatever you want to receive from others, you get to give. So again, be the first. So when you're being curious and loving and generous, you're going to receive that. So whatever you want to receive out in the world, you get to be it now. And that's a choice as well. And again, like you said, it's not perfection. I mean, I'm not an expert on this. I just know the more I do it, the better I feel. And yeah, I mean, you can tell, like, hello, there's still scarcity. It's not something that's going to go away. This is my breakthrough every single day. And again, it's a choice. And sometimes I don't choose.
And then in that moment, what do? You give yourself grace, right?
Exactly.
And you
And I
see
laugh
like
at
the
myself.
lesson. Oh, okay. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah. And I thank my guardian angels that like I said, it could have been a heck of a lot worse. And so then I think twice. I get to slow down. That's also something I'm embodying, is slowing down and not being as pig-headed about things. That's my Sicilian grandmother and me. And that it doesn't have to be done immediately. Like, it's all good. So there's always life lessons. It's a journey, right,
Yes,
Margarita? It's a
yes,
journey.
it's definitely a journey, and it sounds so like if you guys have watched every single episode, you see the through line. There is a through line, and it's been said different ways, but it's all the same. Like first, it's a choice. Second, it's progress, right? It's not. It's a journey, and shifting to a positive mindset, seeing the blessings. It is a choice. It's hard to do in the moments, but it gets easier and it becomes almost starts to become more automatic once you practice and you're doing it consistently. That's what I've experienced anyway in my journey of shifting to a positive growth mindset. And the more you do that, the more you start seeing how people are living in lack around you.
Yeah.
And then it gets tricky, right? Because you don't want to save them. You just want to embody it so that they, by osmosis, pick
Yeah.
up, pick it up. Because you could tell them all day, but they're gonna be like, "I'm not broken. There's nothing wrong with me. Don't tell me. I don't want. Don't tell me what I have to do." So just being embodying it, and I've noticed that when I just embody and I'm in my space of gratitude and positivity, that it exudes, it ripples out.
Yeah,
Like rippling joy in the world is a gift, and it
totally.
starts
And
with you being it.
yeah. And what just came up for me is whenever somebody tells me to do something, I like dig my heels in. No freaking way. So it's how do I get to see it? So how do they get to see it? And one thing that worked for me was scarcity of time. Okay, so a lot of people out there, I don't have enough time. Okay, I invite you to put yourself on a time stretch. So be time. Time is intimacy. So set your alarm for every appointment. Give yourself a countdown, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, start. And follow through. Keep doing this for 5 days. Every appointment you have, set those alarms. You are going to have a huge breakthrough in how much time you actually have. What I can accomplish now in 5 minutes, I can shower, go to the bathroom, do my hair. It is incredible. Eat lunch. I mean, it changed my relationship with time because I got connected to it. So, how many times do we sit there and just scroll and an hour passes, an hour, and we're zoned out? So, when we're intentional about time, then it's infinite, it's abundant. So there's a little stretch to
Yeah, I
shift
love.
somebody's mindset and invite people. If people aren't ready, like you said, it's okay. And then they're going to see something else, and then something else, and something else, and they're going to go, "Okay, I'm starting to see the universe is talking to me." Yeah. So it's awareness, creating the awareness.
Yes. Time is intimacy. And something that you said reminded me, there was an exercise that our mentor, Shanda, talks about, and it's how many minutes are in the day. I think is how I forget the actual number, right? And
Yeah.
it's like tracking what you do in the day for a week. And then you start to be like, oh my gosh, I actually have more time, like you said, than you thought. And also where and how you're spending your time is actually a really good a visual for you. Is like, how are you being intentional with your time? Like when you're scrolling, are you just scrolling to scroll because it's what you do? Or are you scrolling with intention? Like, I'm looking for inspiration. I'm looking for news or whatever it is, right? Like being intentional with how you're spending your time and then like deciding and choosing, like, do I need to spend that hour?
Yeah.
When that hour I could go and maybe journal. Maybe I could start a journal, gratitude journal. I have a gratitude journal, which reminds me I haven't written in it in a while. Where is it anyway? And I started noticing that every time I write my gratitude journal, there was just a different energy about me. And I started experiencing things to be more grateful for in my day when I did that.
Yeah. You notice so much more. And like when I have this saying on my wall, and I'm not gonna ad lib it. I'm gonna go to the wall, and like people come into my house and they're like, "Oh my God, it's like inspiration central here. Like everything is a inspirational saying." The secret to having it all is believing that you do. Love what you have, and you will have everything you need. So when you believe you have everything, you're grateful. Abundance.
I'm just gonna let that one sink in. Yeah, and that's reminding me like slow down, pause. I think that was in the conversation yesterday too, and last week it was about pausing sometimes and not reacting.
Yeah.
Like pause so that you can respond in a way that is empowering,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
abundance.
Yeah. Slowing down,
Yeah.
being present. Yeah.
Oh, I love you so
Love.
much. It's so great
Awesome. I
listening
love you,
to you.
Margarita. Thank you so much for hosting this. Your heart is just on your sleeve. You're so generous. And I always love collaborating with you. It's so much fun. So think of me in the future, and I love you.
I got you, girl. I'll be
All
calling
right.
you.
Mwah.
I'm
Have
so
a great day.
excited to see you and to work with you further. So thank you again so much.
Thanks. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. So, just to recap her beautiful wisdom and what she came here to share, there, the blueprint for abundance. Practice gratitude. So today, just right now, find a piece of paper, get a pen. I'll wait. Write three things. Start with three things. You have food on your plate. You can breathe. You can see. There's people out there that can't do those things. Start with positive affirmations. Positive affirmations in the morning. Write post-it notes if you have to, but in your mirror. Use a dry erase board on your mirror. That's what I do. Dry erase marker, and I write on my mirror positive affirmations. And don't just write them. Like read them and say them and embody them. And visualizing the abundance as if you already have it. And I think we talked about visualizing meditation last week when we talked about also infusing the emotion as if you already have it. How did you feel in that abundance? How did you feel in that visualization as having it already? And it's the emotion that carries that affirmation and manifests it. Okay? So keep that in mind. And then acts of generosity. Feeling that you're cluttered. Write down 3 ways that you can be in giving generosity today and every day. And I just love that. Giving to give too, right? Don't give to get. Give to give. That is generously giving. And when you generously give, it reciprocates. And we talked about this yesterday with Angela. And I think somebody else brought it up last week too, where it's like, I think it was Isabel and Corinna who were talking about it. And that must have been a lot of other people, because I think in this community, you start to realize and you know. You start to connect the dots of like, oh, every time I do this, I get back. It's the same, you're getting back what you're giving. So if you want abundance, be abundant. Give abundance. Give to give generously. And cultivating a growth mindset. So thinking that obstacles as opportunities is a growth mindset. There's even affirmations that you can tell yourself that will help to bridge that positive growth mindset within you. So instead of saying, for instance, oh, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. There's no way. You can be like, you know, I am learning how to do this every day, and I will get better eventually. That alone is just thinking on the positive side of it instead of just closing yourself off to more opportunity. So it's just really about shifting that limiting belief into a positive growth mindset affirmation. So that's another skill in itself, how to shift your limiting belief into an opportunity. So rewording your affirmation, or rewording your limiting belief, right? Like at this time, I am focusing on shifting my mindset instead of being, I don't believe that, right? So receive is abundant. There's another thing I wrote down and what she shared, and I'm stretching out of your comfort zone. Oftentimes I think what she shared was about being too comfortable, and there's no growth, no expansion that happens within that space. But just remembering how you can stretch yourself out of your comfort zone to stay in abundance. So it's going to take 2 minutes to be in silence for us to just ground in what is landing for you with what Danielle shared, and then also to be in silent prayer for those that are struggling, for those who need love and light in this moment, hope. Thank you. At this time, I would like to guide you through an EFT, which is emotional freedom tapping. We're going to tap on cultivating peace, joy, and there are neurovascular points in our body that when we tap them, and tapping mimics the heartbeat. And that's what it's welcomed by the body because it recognizes the beat. And it's also kind of reprogramming your current mental state, and it helps to repattern your beliefs. And so I encourage you to try it on if you've never done tapping before, and just get curious. In this journey, I'm just going to try it on. And a lot of times it takes a couple times of doing this. And I think when I shared it before last week, I also told you that there were times when I was in duress and I would just tap, feeling the feels in the moment. And it would really help to kind of calm me down, and I was able to quickly in that moment kind of have clarity on the situation. And it was empowering, to say the least, in giving me the space to not feel victim, not feel insecurity, not blaming and shaming myself. So it's very powerful. I really urge you to try it out and just get curious about how it can serve you. So with that being said, I wanted to ask you to, before we begin, to find a quiet and comfortable space for you to sit. You can be standing, you don't have to sit if you're in a space. You know, so take a moment to just ground yourself with a deep breath. Okay? Deepest belly breath you can. And you take a deep breath slow and then you hold it and exhale longer than the inhale. It really signals the parasympathetic nervous system to relax and calm, especially if you're thinking of 1,000 things. So that really kind of just prepares you in a moment to be grounded in what is happening. Alright, so we're just going to tap gently with 2 or 3 fingers on each tapping point. And I'm going to guide you as we go along. And I'm just going to read my script here I wrote. And you can repeat the phrases that I say aloud or silently. But remember too that you can also adjust these words to fit your unique situation. And sometimes the words I say might not resonate with you, so shift it. Shift the word, because whatever resonates with you is what your body needs. So listen, be intuitive. Get curious about what you need. And sometimes it's just asking the question, what do I need? What does my body need? So we're going to start off by setting the intention. Okay? So the karate chop is here. And it's either hand, it doesn't matter, whatever dominant hand you have, that feels natural for you, you can tap whichever side. So you're going to start tapping here. I'm going to repeat after me. Even though I feel overwhelmed or disconnected from peace, joy, and harmony, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes feel stressed or out of alignment, I honor my feelings and I am open to cultivating more peace, joy, and harmony in my life. Even though I've been holding on to stress, I am willing to let it go and invite calm, joy, and balance into my being. So you're going to hit now out. You can do both hands, and you can do one. It's totally fine, whatever's comfortable for you, whatever's calling to you in the moment. I feel so much tension in my body. Side of it. Sometimes life feels overwhelming and peace feels far away. Maybe not. I've been carrying so much stress and worry lately. I'm going to repeat after me. I'm going to repeat it too. It's hard to feel joy when things feel out of control. So part of me feels stuck in this stress and disharmony. Now I follow them. I notice this heaviness in my body. And my mind. Already working through me here. Under the arm. Before I mentioned is, I think, here's my bra line, right? And you're gonna touch right under the armpit on that. And you say, it feels like I've been carrying this for too long. Top of the head. I'm acknowledging these feelings without judgment. I'm just going to do one line of this for time's sake, okay? And sometimes it's good to do like 3 cycles of that, and you can change the words or you can repeat the same ones. So just going back and doing the same points with my body feels so much tension. So we're going to now, this is where we shift our perspective. So we grounded in those negative feelings and we're going to shift our perspective into possibility. We're going to go back to the eyeball. I'm open to the idea that I can release this tension. Side of the eye. I don't need to carry this heaviness anymore. I am ready to create space for peace and love. Under the nose, I can let go of what no longer serves me. Chin. I am safe to release stress and welcome joy. Collarbone. I deserve to feel harmony in my body and in my mind. Under the arm. I am open to a new way of being. Calm, joyful, and balanced. I am allowing peace, joy, and harmony to flow into my life. And then I'm going to embrace the peace, joy, and harmony. So I'm going to go back to the above. I feel peace beginning to settle within me. Side of the eye. I am creating space for joy in my heart. Under the eye. Harmony is flowing through every part of my being. Under the nose. I am worthy of feeling this calm and content. Chin. I choose to see the beauty and joy in my life. Yes, I choose to see it. Collarbone. I feel gratitude for the harmony I am creating. Under the arm. I am surrounded by a field of peace, joy, and health. Then I am aligned with peace, joy, and harmony. So now we're going to seal in the intention by going back to the karate chop. Repeat after me. Even though I sometimes feel stressed, I now feel lighter and more aligned with peace, joy, and harmony. I deeply and completely love, accept, and honor myself in this moment. I am grateful for peace, joy, and harmony that I have cultivated today. take a deep breath in. Letting your lungs fill with this new sense of calm and joy. Exhale slowly, releasing any remaining tension. Now pause and notice how you feel. Feeling more peace, calmness. So remember, you can repeat this as often as you need to deepen your sense of peace, joy, and harmony. Do it every day. Over time, tapping can really shift and balance you to a more joyful state, just naturally. Compounds upon itself. That's the beautiful thing about energy medicine. This is part of energy medicine as well. Because the truth is, you're deserving of peace. You're deserving of joy and harmony every day. Always. And that is the time that you choose it. And this is a great way to really just reprogram yourself into a more positive mindset. Yes. How do you feel? Do you feel calm? Is your heart open? I'd love to hear your comments about what opened up for you in this call today. What's opened up for you in the last 7 days? It'd be great to hear you share, because in your sharing, it gives people permission to share. And in your sharing, there's always nuggets that people take away from that too. And you're being in generosity in your comments. And that's abundance. You're not keeping your opinion to yourself, you're sharing it. That's already a shift in abundant mindset. So be generous with your comments. Be generous by sharing this link. Be generous by spreading the word to your friends and colleagues who are struggling with some grief or loss or devastation, or maybe they're stuck in negative mindset. Maybe you see that they're not asking for help. Share this with them. Model what it looks like to be in generosity, giving to give. Model for them what it looks like to be in abundance. And ask the questions. Ask yourself, what is it that you need? And when you're out volunteering and you're out helping others, get specific on how you can help them. Sometimes I notice that I do it too, where it's like, let me know if I can help you. I'm here to help you, but I'm not specific about it. Can I bring you some food? Are you eating? Can I drop off some dinner tonight for you? Do you need a ride somewhere? Can I give you a ride somewhere? Do you need to borrow my car? Do you need me to come by and just be there to support you? You need me to hold the bucket for you so that you can just tell me and let go and release that frustration, release the emotion. Sometimes people just need to let it out. And that's, if you listen to every episode, you realize the importance of that. Not bottling it in, because emotion can get stuck if you don't process or release it. It creates dis-ease and disharmony in your body. So having and cultivating an abundant mindset is all around. Don't hold yourself, don't hold your ideas. And I'm taking that note, holding my ideas, holding my gifts. And for too long I was hiding and playing small and dimming my light, in fear that it would be too much for others. And I realized that that was taking energy. It's not giving energy, it's taking. It's taking from the world, even though I wasn't physically taking anything. It's the act of me not showing up in my power, in my light, in my generous, loving heart. Energetically, I was taking. Like Danielle shared earlier, when she didn't ask for help, her friend felt not good enough. So it's with our own generous acts that we empower and uplift others around us. It's just the aftermath. It's just by osmosis. So where are you being abundant in your life? And how can you be more of it? Where are you not being abundant in your life? And how can you bring it? Being curious, no judgment, giving yourself time to progress, cultivate new patterns, new habits. It's not going to be overnight. And as I said, the last few months I've been doing these affirmations. Before I get up out of bed, my mind wakes up, and I'm like, okay. I immediately put my hand in my heart center. Sometimes I put it in my solar plexus, depending on the mood, and the other hand in my stomach. And I just check in and I go, oh, I'm so grateful to be awake and breathing, to a warm bed. And I tell myself this affirmation: I am a loving, brave, confident woman. I am generous. I am enough. The act of saying that alone really helped inspire me to embody worthiness. And a lot of my work and training and being in all these workshops and groups and rooms where people are sharing, I realized that the key one for most of us is a lack of worthiness. And that's insane. Because you're a miracle for being here. Plain and simple. You are worthy. Don't take that for granted. That's abundance. You know, if you actually look at the statistics of like pregnancy and all the things the sperm has to go through to get to the egg and how they has to survive in the womb, like you are a miracle. You are a walking miracle. Embrace it. Be it. Embody it. Trust it. And there's EFT you could do on worthiness too. And there's essential oils that you can do for that as well. And then remember to move your body. Listen to what your body needs. Sometimes you just need to stretch. Make sure you're raking your chest to relieve any grief or loss, sadness, heartbreak. It will help move it out of your energy space so it doesn't get stuck. Keeping those deep breaths in. Pick a song. If you need to cry, pick a song that's going to help you cry it out and release it. Cry it out with intention to release. It's like when I told you about my hip yesterday and how I healed chronic hip pain, debilitating chronic hip pain by having an intention to release and asking, first of all, I asked myself and my body, why are you here? What is it? What are you holding on to? Why is there this pain? How is this pain serving you? What is the message you're trying to bring? Whatever it is that you ask yourself, but get curious and get intimate with your body. You know, not the kind like people do in the bedroom, but like just going inward and asking yourself, getting to know you and your body, asking your organs, asking your arms, thanking being grateful that you have the ability to move and walk and talk and write. And learn a song that will help you move through the emotion. What I do often is that I sing my thoughts. I sing my thoughts because it really helps me to release it. Whether it's or embody it more, right? If I'm feeling joyful or grateful, I sing that. And a lot of the times I do it in the shower because I believe because of water holding memory and amplifying that. I do that. I sing joy in the shower so that the water can take the joy and spread it and flow it. So remembering the quote, I create ease and flow everywhere I go. Do a walking meditation when you're walking down the street after your music flow, wherever I go, music flow. I mean, there's a song there happening. But my Zoom is saying, am I playing music? Hilarious. Music. Maybe picking some colors, right? You talked about creative expression. Maybe writing a poem. Write a poem and write down how you feel it to release it with the intention of that. You know, a lot of musicians and artists do that. They use their skill to process the journey that they're on. How many times have you heard of a singer writing a whole entire album because of a breakup? There are a handful of people like Pink and Beyonce. There's so many people. So there is a healing that happens when you do that. Especially when you do it with the intention of healing. Creating a piece of art. Colors can really help to ground you in the emotion. Blue is calming, but it can also be sad. Yellow, vibrant, joy. Those are the things I think of when I think of yellow. Cheerful. It's also shining a light, being bright. Red, anger. It's also passion for me. Passion. Purple. Purple for me feels royal, feels fancy, intuitive, higher intelligence, intuition, guidance. Those are the kind of, that's how color for me works. What is color for you? I think different for everybody. And there's no right or wrong way to do it. And when you consider yourself drawing or painting or doing a piece of art, like, you don't have to be an artist. You just have to be an intention to release, and sometimes not judging yourself doing it. And I have a friend of mine, Nikki, who does doodling. That's how she really supports people, is doodling through an emotion, and you create, and then you look to see what you create without judgment. And it's not having to get it right. It's really just a good exercise to get it from here out here, right? And the same thing goes with affirmations and gratitude. You can say it out loud all the time, but when you write it down, it almost makes it concrete. And it grounds it into reality. And the same goes with gratitude journaling, doing a piece of art to release your emotions, writing a piece of poetry, writing a song, singing a song, creating a piano piece or instrumental, something that, whatever it is, to help you release it. And I'd like you to share, like, what ways are you going to try to cultivate abundance and to release any pain and fear and to embrace peace and joy in your life? Please share with me. I'd like to know. I might have not have thought of something that you are doing, and it would be really to try something new. I'm always open to trying something new about sex. So as we approach the week and almost the end of the month, tomorrow's my birthday. Just remind yourself, like, where are you in your life? Where do you want to be? And then what's in the way? I think Danielle said it today. What are you willing to let go of to get where you are? And sometimes, and for me, you know, if a long time it was needing to be right. I let go of having to have control of that, so that I can have peace and connection and love. So ask yourself that. What are you willing to let go of to get what you want? Simply share. I hope to see you tomorrow. Don't forget to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, lead with love, most importantly, lead with love. Don't spread fake news. Don't spread hate. Be in a space of unity and love and compassion. When you can embody those things, it really starts to create a ripple effect in the community. And other people will start to do it as well. But it starts with you. And it starts with you being that for yourself. So in a time of need, don't do it alone. Ask for help. Receive the love and the peace and the joy that is coming to you. Opening up your hearts to receive is really hard for a lot of people. So just be open to receive. You are worthy of it. You matter. You're enough. You are enough. So with that, my friends, I say thank you. Pray. I'll say a quick prayer for those who are struggling today. And when I say God, fill in whichever God is best fits for you. Please be in this prayer with me. God, I ask in your name for those struggling to find peace, for those in need to find love, and for those who are hurting to find unity and companionship and hope. I ask that you hold those who have lost everything in the fires or in the flood or in a hurricane or through an act of war. I ask you, please hold them in your hands and your arms. May they feel the love, may they feel the joy and the harmony that we're sending for them, that we're praying for them to feel at peace, to recognize the blessing in disguise. May it unfold for them. May they cultivate a mindset of gratitude and blessings. May they find a place where they feel safe, they feel held. And I ask you, Lord, please have them feel our hearts. Please have them really experience the love and our embrace that we're sending to them in these moments. Because they know they're not alone, because they know that this will pass, and that it's okay for them to feel the way they're feeling, but with hopes of prayer and faith, that they can shift and create a resilient life ahead, stronger life, and more intentional life. And with that, I ask you, Lord, to please just shower them with your love. That they know that they are, they matter. That you're watching over them, protecting them. That they see that the blessings that they have and holding on. High and high. And with that, I should have asked my daughter yesterday. I had a full house yesterday. You can hear the background. I had everybody talking in the background and cooking while I was talking. And she's really good at prayers, my daughter. And I just love her so much. I love her. So I'm grateful for her. I'm grateful for my son as well. He is just the joy of the world. So it's such a blessing. So I'll see you tomorrow. Sometime 10 a.m. This is live streamed on YouTube at Margarita_Rose_8. You can follow me on Instagram. On Facebook, it's Margarita Rose 8. And I post a lot of resources there. I post a lot of tips on how to help cultivate positive mindset, a growth mindset, and give you tips on how to just have a life that is more aligned with what your vision is. First of all, even teaching you or showing you the importance of creating a vision. Do you have a vision for your life? Half the time, for me anyway, the story was for me up until now, I was living life without really fully having a vision. When I prayed about how I can be of service to the world, to my community, I asked and I prayed on it. And then I was given this vision to be here and hold this space. I didn't know what it looked like at first. I didn't know what was going to happen, who was going to be on. But I knew that my vision was so powerful and my intention was generous that I was like, well, I don't know what it looks like, even if I have to host every single day by myself. I'm just going to hold this space because my intention is to be of generosity. And when you open it up with that vision, everything you say and do falls in line with that. And people feel it. People feel your heart and your true intention when you have a vision. And so, creating a vision for your life, moving forward. It's the beginning of the year. And resolutions don't cut it. You can make a list of resolutions, but what's the vision? What's the bottom line? What is it that you want to create? And why? Like if your vision is to have a lot of money, why? What do you want to do with that? Where do you want to go? Being grounded in that vision and seeing it will really help with how you show up in the world, what you say, the choices that you make. It all starts to align with your vision. It begins by having it. So I'd like for you to share your gratitude. I'd like for you to share what you're going to do, what you're taking away from this, and also to share your vision with us and help inspire. Your vision can inspire others to create a vision. That's how powerful you are. So own your power, live boldly, choose abundance, choose joy and love. It's simple, it's not easy, but I tell you it does get easier in reality. So cultivating a positive growth mindset is the first step to getting you to be living the life of your dreams. Time is now, life is now. Stop living on the sidelines, stop dimming your light, stop hiding. Don't play small. The world needs you. We need you. I need you. You go.